Hello, good afternoon, Anuveri. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's having a blessed Sunday. Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Hello, thank you for joining me. Hello, Linda Gamble. Hello, honey. Hope you're well. Hello, American born. Hey, Han. Hey, Sharon Gilbert. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, sis. Hey, Innocent Instigator. Hey, Betty Boop. Hope you're well, love. Hey, Alpham C, thank you for joining. Hey, Hillenden, thank you for joining me. Hillen, sorry, I always say Hillenden. I don't know why. I think it's because of the area in the UK. Thank you, American born. Thank you. I hope everyone's well. Happy Sunday. It's happy because the UK recently had a booming hot weather. When I tell you, we've had 2 weeks of sun. And I've just been enjoying the sun, sitting out here. I made myself a mango shake today. Pure mango with almond milk, ice, a bit of caramel like drizzled on top. Beautiful. And I sat my ass outside, put my sunscreen on, had a dress on, obviously, and just chilled. I read one of my books, rereading a book because I'm obsessed with reading. I love to read. So I was reading a book and just had a really good afternoon. And I'm lucky and blessed enough to have a beautiful sister that's making me dinner while I'm on live with you guys. So for me, my Sunday is it's for me, it's good. Having a great Sunday. Hello, Eloquent, my good sis. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me. So for me, my Sunday's great. It's just is exactly what I needed. Like for real, I thought I would have people, but thank God. Nobody's coming today. It's just me, my family, even my brother's here, and he don't live with me, so he came. He's chilling with my mama and that. Like it's just a really nice Sunday with the family. We're all here. My nieces and nephews are we're just chilling, and I really loved it. There's some days you just want to be with your brothers and sisters, your mother, just your family, like your immediate family, and just chill with each other. It's not everybody's so busy living life. We don't get to do that. I'll be honest, a lot. But when we do catch jokes, and then I get a headache and be like, oh, I can't stand you lot. Bye. And that's why my ass is on live. um, yes. Innocent Instigator. I love to read, and I love to read suspense. Listen, I know I may come up rah 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 and all this stuff, but I'm a lover girl. Okay, I'm a lover girl. I love historical romance books. Like I have my favorite writers. I'm the type of reader that if you sell me a dream in a book, right? You sell me a dream at the back of the book and I read it and I go out and purchase it and it's not what you sold me, best believe I write, I'm the type to write to publishers. I email publishers. Yep, I'm her. I email publishers for for selling me the dream. That's what I do. I'm that type of reader because I love to read. I truly love to escape, and my escape is reading. Um, okay, Helen said she's a loner. Do you know what? So am I. So am I. And I said this. Who did I say this to? I said this to Kat in Queen Sheba's live. I'm a really outgoing person, but I'm also an introvert, and I realized that during COVID because COVID taught me a lot. Like before, I think when you're on the go, I'm the type of person when I'm on the go, I'm working, like, meeting friends, helping my family. I'm doing all of this that I don't notice it because I'm just an outgoing person. The minute, COVID sat us all our asses down, right? For 2 years, it sat our asses down. That's when I realized, yo, I'm a loner. I love to be alone. I look at people calling me like, do you not have a life? Why are you calling me? Like, what do you want to talk to me about? Like, I turned into introvert. Like, I don't know, just become that person. But now I'm slowly coming out again. I'm slowly meeting my friends. I'm not out the way I used to be. Obviously, everybody knows I take care of my mother. I'm the main carer for my mother at the moment. So I take care of my mom, and I love that as well. Like, she puts me in check, and I love that. So I don't get to go out with everybody the way I used to. I don't travel the way I used to. I used to travel 4 or 5 times a year. Like, I take a big trip. I think my last big trip was 3.5 weeks, and I was in Singapore. I went to Singapore and I went to Bali, and that was when was that? 2023 was my last year of like a big holiday. And before that, I had mini trips around Europe. So I'm the type of, lady that travels a lot. And those mini trips help me until I get to my big trips in between. I don't believe in work and no play, like especially in the stressful jobs that I'm in. I need to have that, separation. Hello, Hill 75. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Happy Sunday. Hello, dear Yvette. Thank you for joining. Happy Sunday. So yeah, I just say that to say I'm introvert, extrovert. I don't know, but I'm a bit of both, I think. And it depends on my people then. Like, when I say I have an amazing set of friends, like I have 6 friends, my ride or die. Like, these are my amazing friends. I love them for life, and we've been friends 10 years plus. They are like my go-to people. They call me, they know what I'm like. They're okay with not hearing me for a few days. I'm okay for not hearing from them, because we know life is lifing for all of us. We all can't be um tied to the hip the way we used to. When we were younger, we were doing everything together. It's not like that. Some of them are married now, they're mothers now, so it's not the way it used to be, but we're good with that because we still have we're at this age where we make calendar appointments. I have to put on my calendar in order for me to remember, because I have so many things going on in my life, that we make calendar dates. So we have brunch set up next month. I have a wedding to go to next month as well, and one in the UK and one back in the US. I mean, so not US, in Canada. So we're not the same that we used to be, but we're cool like that. I think when you understand each other and everybody knows what everybody's going through, that's good. I feel like when you don't communicate, and you leave people on red, it gets a bit disheartening. Equilise Ijutu. Sorry if I mess up your name, but thank you for joining. I'm really bad at pronouncing names, so apologies for that. Thank you for joining. If you have like a nickname you'd like me to call you, let me know. Thank you for joining. So yeah, life is life for everybody, and I always say make time for your people. Hello, Square Biz 72. Welcome, Han. Thank you for joining. So, hello. I hope I said hello to Cece. Hello, Cece. Welcome, honey. Thank you for joining. Happy Sunday, everybody that's coming in. So yeah, I've had a really, you know, just call me Sadia. Okay, I can call you Sadia. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, Yeah, so happy Sunday to everybody. Thank you for joining. As you can see, this live is something that I've been meaning to talk about. And I think I said this before, that I'm going to be covering a variety of different topics. And I've had this for a while, and I've been meaning to talk about it. But every time I do, something um doesn't allow me to. I don't know, something comes up, I cover something else. It's weird. It's weird. But today felt like the right day to talk about this. Alpha MC said, yep, I'm an introvert by nature, but depending on my relationship with a person, I come off as an extrovert. I understand that. I understand that. Hello, Mama Bees. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Um, Helen said, I have an anniversary next month. My husband in retirement in July. My husband and I've celebrated her birthday in the same day. She's like, "Oh, congratulations to you and your husband. Happy anniversary in advance, Helen." I think it's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that and letting us know. Thank you. Please, everybody that's come in, hit that like button on your way in, please, and thank you. Thank you, Eloquent. Appreciate that. So yeah, this topic I have been meaning to um talk about. Helen, you're welcome. You're welcome, honey. I've been meaning to talk about um because a lot of people, so I'm going to go very deep today. A lot of people have a problem with saying, expressing themselves and saying no. And there's a really deep video that I'm going to play, and I probably play it a lot of times until people get it into their heads because it's so important. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. So I'm going off topic. Well, I'm not going off topic, but you know what I mean. So I spoke about this before. I went to therapy. Ooh, I say give or take 5 years back for 2 years. 2 years of therapy because I wanted to know the issues of myself and why I allow so many people to take me for like take my kindness for weakness, why I'm people pleasing, why I always put people ahead of myself and everything. And that therapy taught me so much about myself. I learned a lot, a lot. And I'm really, really proud of myself, how far I come. The unfortunate thing about that therapy was losing a friend that I had for 20 years. When I say we've been friends since I was 5, but I had to cut her off. I had to cut her off because I realized she was a narc and she was the main person that I felt like used me, used my friendship, used my energy, sucked the good energy out of me. She did a lot of projecting that I didn't know. Um, I'm okay, so I'll start with this. I'll say this. I'm the type of friend that if you need me, I'm gonna be there. Always. And I will always find myself being there for her and never her for me. And friendship is not about tit or tat, but when you notice that it's you that's giving it your all every time, and when it's your turn, it's silence, like you don't exist. And also because we grew up together, growing up in an African household, my mother would not, I wouldn't even dare. My mother would not even let me leave the house unless it was cleaned, bedrooms done, clothes washed, food cooked if it was my turn that week. Um, we were not allowed. That's how tight my mum ran her household. We were not allowed to leave until this house was shining. Okay, then we can go out and have fun with our friends and come be back by our curfew. Okay, um, it was the same for her, but she didn't. Her mom was kind of. She was a nice mom, but she just got them, let them get away with it. But she was only strict when her husband was there, kind of dynamic, kind of thing. I was the type of friend. We only live 3 roads away from each other, so we say roads. You guys say streets. 3 like streets away from each other. I'm the type of friend that would finish my household duties, go to her, help her clean everything just so she can go out, right? That's the type of friend I was to her. And she also was a friend that did was so intimidated by my presence and my bubbly personality that she always had to, she tried, I would say she tried to bring me down, but she couldn't because I am someone like that. Before I leave that house, I affirm myself. I am that girl. Like nobody can talk to me about who I am and where I'm from. I am that girl. You best get to know me or keep it moving. So I had this, I was such confidence that no one could even try it with me. And I'm not the type to share my insecurities. Don't get it twisted. I have insecurities, but I'm not going to share that so you can throw it in my face. I'm never the type. But she was the type to throw insecurities at me, her insecurities, and project it onto me because she was jealous. Like people loved me. I was that girl. I was the center of attention, and I didn't even want to be, but it was that amongst the people that we used to roll with. I was the funny one. I was the happy-go-lucky one. I was the type that made environments what it was. And they did not, well, she did not like it. Hello, welcome TJ's baby. So I say all this to say I learned a lot because that losing that friendship hurt a lot. But I knew it was the right thing to do for me just because of what we went through and what the type of person I knew I was to her and she was never to me. And how I did it with her. Hello, Hershey 85. Welcome, honey. Hope you're well. Happy Sunday. I knew the type of friend I was to her and she knew it. And my last straw with her was she got invited to a wedding to a girl that I know more than she does. And we were at the table, and sometimes something clicks and you just have enough. And we're at the table, and she all of a sudden just decides to make an embarrassing comment about me, like in a table full of, how weddings are. Um, you have a table of like 10 or something, and she don't know these girls. She maybe knows me and one other, and she had the nerve to make a comment to like laugh, like to make people laugh, and people weren't laughing because they're looking at her like, "Who are you? And why do you think it's okay to say that about her and your friend and our friend?" And she didn't get the response that she was hoping for, so she stormed off and started making scene. And I was, that something just triggered me. I don't know what it is. My two antennas hit. I was like, I'm done. Don't bother. The next day, I kid you not, the next day I woke up with such ease, like no stress, nothing. I felt so pure and happy and felt like a weight has been lifted off me. I woke up like a new person, like I've never felt this feeling before. And I sent her a really nice text message. Never made it about her. I just said, in this point in my life, I cannot be friends with somebody like you who degrades me, who disrespects me, and does not understand the meaning of friendship and respect. Therefore, I wish you the best in your life. But you and me can no longer be friends ever again. She kept, and I sent her that, and I blocked her. She kept ring me on private, didn't pick up. She called my sisters, because bear in mind, we're family and friends. She called my sisters. My sister's like, listen, she's over it. She ain't interested. She's not going to talk to you anymore. You know what you did. You crossed the line. It was a wrap. And it was a wrap for me. Then she got our parents involved. My mama said the same thing. My mom said, no, I can't tell my daughter. If my daughter says she don't want to be friends with you because what you did to her and all these years, then she don't want to be your friend. She went through everything to bring it back because she knew. Then the whole ruin your reputation, talked behind your back stuff. Nobody would listen to her. Reason being because they knew me and they knew what type of person I was. Did I go out there talk about her? No, because I didn't need to. I'm the type of person, I just let you embarrass yourself, mate. You ain't gonna pull me into it. I just let her do her thing because I know my worth. I knew I was a better friend, and I knew you would never get another friend like me because I know myself. There's only one of me. There's only one of me. And I know my heart, and I know my heart posture. And I know nobody on this earth was a gooder friend to you than I was. Nobody. And she, years later down the line, said that to me. It was unfortunate, but it needed to happen because I grew, and hopefully that helped her grow. But I'm still, just because I cut you off my life does not mean if you call me, something happened, which unfortunately did. She um lost her brother, and Allah rahma, he's one of my, just thinking about him, ooh, this is deep. Just thinking about him makes me very very sad. But when that happened, I automatically rang her. I think I was on the phone to her till 6 a.m. Went to her house the next day, sat with her, just held her hand. We just kept praying. That's what we do in the Muslim culture. We pray. And that's all I did. I held her hand, I prayed. Um, I couldn't go to the funeral because I was working, but I went afterwards. Um, and I still held her hand. I still was there. Does that mean we be friends? No. But there's always going to be love. When you are pure, you're always going to have love for that person. And I always did have love for her. I just couldn't be around her. She wasn't good for me and my spirit. But I always loved her and I always loved her family. Her mother still comes to my house and I give her the biggest hugs and kisses. Good friends with her sisters still. Um, and her losing her brother was one of the most painful things that she can go through. I can only imagine. And I knew, number one, as a Muslim person, I knew I had to be there for her, as as a sister, as a Muslim sister. But two, I had to be there for her because I loved her brother too, and I knew she needed me at that time. Are we friends now? No, she just recently got married last year. I heard about it, congratulated her. You know, I'm that type of person, and she admitted it. But I think I'm a better person because she's no longer in my life, because she weighed me down, unfortunately, but I still love her. There's always going to be love there, but I will always love her from afar. And like I said, I'm going to be there regardless. If you need me, you pick up that phone, I will be there. But me, you can never be friends. And she knows that. She knows it. Hello, Kat. Welcome, hon. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you for joining us today. Oh, thank you. Kat said, I love you, Lala, and your heart posture is amazing. Thank you so much. And I love you back, Kat. I love you back. And you got an amazing heart too. You got an amazing heart too. Don't forget that, Kat, okay? Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Um, so I say that to say that I'm really wanted to talk about this topic because the input basically today's topic is about the importance of expressing yourself and saying no, healing, setting boundaries, and knowing your self-worth. Okay, your self-worth, sorry, excuse me. So thank you for joining this live. I appreciate every single one of you. Let's catch up, okay? Um, Sometimes people really think that being yourself is wrong. I don't agree with that. If you can't be yourself, then who? You know? Then who? Kat said, "Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot." Oh, you're welcome, sis. You're welcome anytime. Thank you for being here. Um, we really have to be real about healing, setting those boundaries, becoming whole and unapologetically ourselves. You can't apologize for being who you are, and you can't allow anyone to play with you. And I mean anyone. I mean friends, family, work, people on the streets, people on social media, anybody, okay? Something that a lot of people are not taught, but absolutely need to learn is about expressing yourself and saying no, okay? You never have to bite your tongue like when you know you should have spoken up. And I spoke about this to my sister the other day. She was like, "Oh, I knew I should have said something." I'm like, "You should have." There and then, when you get that inkling, like, hold up, nah, I'm gonna say something. Say it. Say it. Because your spirit is screaming yes, while your mind is saying no. No, you need to listen to your gut. If your gut is saying to you, say it, you need to say it. And I learned that from a young age. That's why I always say my gut never steers me wrong. If I feel something about something, I'ma say it there and then, depending on who. Sometimes you have to assess the situation that you're in to know if this person will be willing to engage and take that on. If you know that they are someone that is not gonna it's gonna cause a conflict, or they're violent or something, you know not to say it, but you know what to do afterwards, right? So it depends on the situation and who the person is. But silencing yourself doesn't mean keeping the peace. It keeps you in pieces. Please remember that. Let me repeat that again. Silencing yourself doesn't keep the peace. It keeps you in pieces. Let that sink in for a minute. Okay. There's a connection between expression and boundaries. I want to get into that too. Okay. Sadia says there's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do with family, but the wholeheartedly agree. I understand. Family thing part is a hard dynamic to navigate. But I always say you can love your family, you can love them with your whole heart, but you also have to set the boundaries. Okay. Set your boundaries with your family. Let them know what will happen and what will not happen. That's the only way to get families to really take you seriously. I set boundaries with my family. They know what type of person I am. They're like, oh no, I can't. Nope, I. They know. They know, right? Um, but also, like I said, I'm also I'm the easy one. Like they would come to me to get something more than they would go to my older sister. My older sister will she has a list of things to say. Me, I'll say two or three things. I look at your face, and if it looks like I'm digging it even deeper for you, and it was harder for you to come to me and ask me for it, then I'm the type of like, okay, I just give it to them, whatever they ask. My sister, but my older sister, she has a list of bit, and she will read you before she gives it. She will give, depending on what it is, but she will read you for it before she gives. I maybe give you a little two reads and say, what the hell's wrong with you? And, why can't you do this? I may say that, but when I know it's kind of cutting and it's not nice, like I can see it's affecting you, what I'm saying, then I'll kick back. I'll kick back. Hello, Vanessa. Hey, sis. How you doing? Thank you for being here. So, there's that as well. You just have it's just setting boundaries. Make sure you set those boundaries. Make it clear. And when you set those boundaries and they cross it, you need to make a list of what happens. The first stage, second stage. For me, there's only three stages. Once you get the third mark, the third stage, I'ma love you and I'ma leave you. That's the type I am. I'ma love you, I'ma leave you, and I'ma pray for you because you definitely playing with me if you reach the third stage. But I'm very glad that my family's not like that. I'm very glad at that. Dear Yvette says, yes, Lala, you have to set boundaries with family members and friends. If not, they will walk all over you. Yes. And that took me a long time to learn. I had to go therapy and learn that. So I say that to say, remember what I said, the sentence. I want everybody to take notes with this, okay? Take this down. Silencing yourself doesn't keep the peace, it keeps you in pieces. Okay? I just want you to know that. I just want everybody to know that because a lot of us really forget that. Okay? A lot of us forget that. And it's unfortunate because we break apart in our silence. Okay? We truly break apart in our silence. And silencing yourself is only hurting yourself. And I learned that a long time. So that's why I'm no longer silent. If I feel some type of way, I will say it. I feel some type of way. I will say it. So Betty said, I used to let family and friends walk all over me. I would never say no. As I got older, you can easily say no. I'm sorry, Betty. I understand. I truly understand that because I was the same way. but I'm proud of you for now learning to say no. Really am. And thank you for sharing that with us. Um, okay, so Cece said, I had to let go of a childhood bestie too. She was always competing, never truly happy for others' success. I don't want that in my life. I agree. And what are you competing for? I'm going to tell you something, Cece. I've always said this to myself. I'm in competition with no one but myself. I'm my hardest critic, my whole life. And that's another thing I learned in therapy, was that I was so hard on myself that I found it was okay for others to be hard on me because I was hard on myself. And when I got diagnosed with dyslexia in a young age, I think I was 18, and my whole life I always knew I was a bit behind, but I never knew I was, like, what was wrong with me. I just knew it took me longer to learn. Hello, TJ's baby, welcome. Thank you. She said, I agree with you, Lala. Thank you. I knew it was harder for me to learn, but I always liked learning. I really did like education, but it was harder for me. And what ate me up was seeing my friends and my family do so well. I got good grades, don't get me wrong, but they'd be so well and quick with it. And I'll be sitting there like, huh? What's wrong with me? What's wrong? And then until I went to a college, but not college in America, but college in the UK, which is you do 2 years before you go to the college that you guys go to in America. So we do college, and then we do not 2 years in college, and then we do another 3 to 4 years in university. So it was harder for me to adapt to that, and it really hurt me, and I didn't know I held on to that for a while. Um, but I will say that championed me. Having that championed me, it never made me think, oh, I can't do it because I'm dyslexic. No. My mama don't care if there's half a brain missing. You will go to school. You will get an education, and you best bring A or a B home. Okay? My mama did not care. Like, I'll tell you how much. Okay, let me tell you something. I'll tell you how much my mother didn't care. She didn't care to the point that she when they put me in special education for those that have learning difficulties, right? My mother marched up to the school, because my high school's only 3-minute walk, max four. Walked up there, screamed the lights out. I'm gonna sue you guys for discrimination and racism. Why you putting my child in a learning, learning class for people with disabilities and all this stuff? You calling my daughter a retard? You did. She was going crazy. My mother was not. She called them every word under the sun. My mother did not play about us. Raised 6 kids. She was not playing about us, especially when it comes to education, because she has a degree and she has a master's. She's very smart. Like, my mother worked for the government before we had to flee because of war and become refugees in the UK. So she was a very smart woman, and for her, it was all about education. So she was not having it. She was not letting these people, especially these white people, tell her daughter is slow and her daughter has learning difficulties. Mama wasn't having it, and she pushed them, but then they finally got her to understand, and got me tested, and they showed it. And I'm really bad at maths, and I'm bad at, like, spelling, but everything else I'm good with. I love to read, don't have problems reading, and I never let that push me back or set me back in my life. I would not. I just didn't. And I'm grateful for that, because that pushed me. I never let people doubt me, and I never let people use that against me, because you would never know I had it unless you saw the way I write, because you can tell from your writing. And also, a lot of people don't know this. You can tell by the way you walk that you're dyslexic. People that are dyslexic have a different way of walking and a different balance. And I can say I don't walk. I can walk, but girl, I'm walking like I'm running. It's weird. I walk weird. Let's just put it that. So I couldn't let that hinder me or hinder my life, because I knew I had no choice. I have two parents that would never allow me to use that. And I love, like, I love my father to bits because he just never goes, it doesn't mean goes, he goes, you know, Albert Einstein was a dyslexic, you know that, right? Because there's nothing wrong with you. You learn different. And that, again, pushed me to be like, okay, I learn different. How do I set myself up to still be great at what I do, but do it different compared to other people? And I learned it's a learning mechanism. There's different methods to it. And I say to say that it's like I never let that hinder me because you're looking at a woman now that has a degree, that has a master's, that worked in a corporate world 15 years plus in a higher management position. So you can never let the naysayers, the doubters bring you down. And I say that to say, I'm my own competition. I don't compete with anybody. I can't. I'm sorry. Like what's written for you is written for you. And I can't be, how am I a God-fearing person if I'm looking at what God gave you and not grateful for what he gave me? That's how my mind works. And I'm very grateful for the way my upbringing, because it made me like that. It made me stronger to realize nobody can play with me, and nobody can, ever use that against me because you can't. It never hindered my life in any way. If anything, it just taught me different ways to learn. And I'm very proud of myself and how hard I worked to get to where I am. That's why I can't compete with anybody and look at people, what they have. I'm the type that claps for you. A friend of mine just got promoted the other day. Listen, sent a cake to her because that's the type of friend I am. I love that for her. She deserved it. She worked hard for it. When I got my promotion, my friends took me to dinner and bought me a gift. I'm surrounded by people that champion each other. So I can't be surrounded by haters and jealous people and people that compete each other. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Sorry. I'm not doing it. So what I want to say is I am going to um play a video. It's a short one, but I'm going to keep playing it until people really understand um the meaning behind this. Oh, Linda said Lala is preaching today. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, love. Helen said, proud of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kat said, yes, Lala, exactly to all of this. I can't stand. Yep, I agree. I know what you mean. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you. Yep. Vanessa said, and never let others' opinion of you define or dictate your shape your future. How you see yourself will not affect your life in any form. 100% agree. 100% agree. Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate that. 100% agree. So I'm going to play this video. Um, this is such a great video, and it hit me because it's something that I learned through my therapy, and it helped a lot. And I really just wanted to share this with you all, so maybe it will help you.
Not to, 4 times more likely to die by simply not expressing.
Women are particularly programmed not to say no in this culture.
Can everybody hear? Put a one in the chat if you can hear the video for me. Perfect, American born. Thank you. Did everybody hear that part? Should I just start it from the beginning again? Hey, Q Catrice. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining. Okay, stay safe and thank you for listening behind in the bushes. Thank you.
Likely to die by simply not expressing.
Women are particularly programmed not to say no in this culture.
Did you hear that? He said women are programmed not to say no.
It costs them hugely in terms of mental and physical health. They looked at 2,000 women over a 10-year period. And those women that were unhappily married and didn't express their feelings were 4 times as likely to die as those women who were also unhappy, but they did express their feelings. So the issue wasn't happiness, the issue was authenticity.
Yes.
Self expression.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is profound.
It's frightening.
It's
Yeah.
but why are we not talking about that? I mean, that is so you see 4 times more likely to die by simply not expressing.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? You're 4 times more likely to exit this world. I can't say the word that he said just because you're not expressing.
We live in a society which very much is dependent on roles, and roles depend on how other people see you. So we all want to be seen in the best possible light, and society punishes us for being authentic.
So he says society pushes you for being authentic, and you have to be authentic yourself. I'm going to replay this because I'm telling you, this is so profound. It's so profound. So let me just play this again because people are really, really, really out here not knowing this. And stress is the biggest killer in women. Stress is because we take on so much. We take on so much burdens that does not belong to us. Hello, Somali Queen. Hey, sis. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Let me play this again.
4 times more likely to die by
Yeah.
simply not expressing.
Women are particularly programmed not to say no in this culture.
He said women are programmed not to say no.
It costs them hugely in terms of mental and physical health. They looked at 2,000 women over a 10-year period, and those women that were unhappily married and didn't express their feelings were 4 times as likely to die as those women who were also unhappy, but they did express their feelings. So the issue wasn't happiness.
So he's basically saying single women are more happier than married women, and married men are the most happier than single men. Let that sink in.
The issue was authenticity,
Yes.
self-expression.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is profound.
It's frightening.
It's
Yeah.
But why are we not talking about that? I mean, that is so you see 4 times more likely to die by simply not expressing.
Yeah. We live in a society which very much is dependent on roles, and roles depend on how other people see you. So we all want to be seen in the best possible light, and society punishes us for being authentic.
Wow. That is so deep. Society punishes you for being your authentic self. How deep is that? That is so deep. Like, I hope that sunk in for everybody that's watching. And thank you for joining us on this beautiful Sunday. Okay. Expressing yourself and saying no is deeply connected because when you don't feel safe to express your truth, your yes becomes performative and your no disappears. Okay. I hope people understand that. Unfortunately, we're taught from childhood, especially women, and that being liked and being easy to deal with is more pleasing than being honest. All right. So we become masters of shrinking ourselves, of silence, of self-betrayal in the name of harmony, because we want to keep the harmony that we shrink ourselves and keep silent. And I don't do that. Listen, my mother, to this day, bless her, she, suffers from Alzheimer's dementia, but to this day, she still knows her daughter, and she'll say, "I just wish you would just be quiet." Okay, that's what my mom goes, just be quiet. And I always say, no, I ain't. I ain't. God did not give me a mouth to be quiet. You know what I mean? I'm like, I've never been that person as a child, as a teenager. I've never been quiet, but I am known to keep the peace. I do keep the peace. I am the peacekeeper of my friendships. People will call me to rectify things because I'm able to understand both situations, separate both friendships, but still get them to come together to talk about it. Because, and I don't put myself in the middle, but I am somebody that would like to make the peace for two people that, love each other to come together and make it right. I am that friend. I've always has been for my friends, and I'm very happy to do that because always see things different than they do, and I get them to see it from their eyes that they're not listening. And sometimes the issue with people is they don't listen. They only listen to speak back to you. But I listen. I truly hear what you're saying, and I take it back to them so they can hear it. And when they come together, they come to an understanding. Sometimes it doesn't work out, and that's okay. I'm all about protecting your peace. And if that person disrupts it, then you have to keep it moving. Um, just saw okay, dear vet says, now that you cut them off, I'm bougie, lol. I have to laugh at people are crazy. Yeah, listen, call me bougie. I'd rather be called bougie than dumb. Let's put it that way. I'd rather be called bougie than dumb. Sadi said, my dad says I always speak when something is wrong. He always says I should be quiet a bit more. No, follow your instincts and speak up. If not you, then who? And why should you hold on to silence? There's different environments to speak up, but you should always speak up and express yourself. Stop saying no. Do not say no. Not today. Sorry, Dad. Kat said that it's facts. They say kids have ADHD when maybe they're just not okay with sitting for hours and conforming. Yes, 100% agree with that. Some kids are not made like that. That's why, you know, no offense, but kids like in Switzerland and in the Scandinavian countries really, really have a different way of learning, and it works for them. They're not always sitting down, pen and paper. They're out there. They're in their communities. They're in the fresh air. They're in the wilderness. They're enjoying life as well as learning. Hey, Aries 66, welcome. Happy Sunday, and they're enjoying their learning. They're not sitting up scooped somewhere and told certain things. They're learning a different way. Everybody has a different learning mechanism, and it's best to tap into that instead of labeling and saying they're this and saying that. Don't get me wrong, some kids do have it, but not all of them. There's certain things that may be affecting them that it's not affecting others. um I want to talk about the people pleasing. That's another thing about me. I'm a former people pleaser. I used to be, and I've said this before at the beginning, for those that's joining, I used to be a people pleaser, and I worked on that, and therapy helped me work on that. And I realized it's because, again, I wanted to keep the peace and not be looked at like, oh, you're so difficult. Oh, you never just do what we say. I did not want to be that guy, but then I realized doing keeping with the peace was hurting me, and that's not okay. Why should I be hurt and you're living in glory and I'm the hurt one? No, I'm not having that. And I want to break it down through the wisdom of Gabor Mate that we just watched here, who says that trauma isn't what happened to you, it's what happens inside of you when you have to abandon yourself to survive. I'm going to repeat that again. He says trauma isn't what happened to you, it's what happens inside of you when you abandon yourself to survive. And that means you disconnected from your truth in order to survive. Let that sink in, okay? Let that sink in. And what happens when we stay silent is really a question that a lot of people really need to understand. What happens to you when you stay silent? I know what happened to me. It was eating me inside. It was eating me inside. When you don't express yourself, you start disappearing from your own life. You say yes to things you don't want. You smile when you're hurt. You go along just to keep the peace. Again, that I used to be like that. And over therapy, I overcame it. And that was hurting me a lot. And I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was being that good friend. I was that girl that was there for my friends throughout all, and it affected me a lot. And I think the cost was me. There's always a cost to everything, and unfortunately, the cost was me. Uh, Unspoken truths just don't go away. They become a tension in your body. And remember, I said when I cut that girl off, the tension, there was a release that I never felt before. I felt free than I ever have in my life when I cut that girl off. The anxiety that I had to when I had to say no, when I really had to put my my foot down and say no, that I always felt anxiety and I couldn't explain it. Didn't even know what anxiety was back then. Then you become burnt out, you become exhausted by dealing with everything that comes along with being a yes girl, unfortunately. And when I learned to say no, I'm just speaking to me. When I learned to say no, I felt freedom I never felt before. And I gladly say no to a lot of things now. Depends on what it is, but I say no to a lot of things. And I'm happy that I do that. I want to play this. One more video.
Somebody put in the chat, no. Type no. Somebody, the word of the day is no. I can't do it. Know how to maintain your peace of mind? No. It's called N-O. No. No. Somebody put in the chat, no. Type no. Somebody put in the chat right now, you want to maintain your peace of mind. Get in the habit of saying, especially for my empathic people, especially for my people who have a hard time saying no.
And listen, she spoke to the old me because I am an empath. I did have problems saying no, but now I have no problems in saying no. No problems at all. Put a no in the chat. Put a no if this appeals, like this is for you. Put a no in the chat for me.
Who said, well, they were there for me in the 5th grade, and I remember when they bought me an ice cream back when I didn't have it in the 5th grade on that sunny, huh? Say what? We didn't already gave them that favor 10 times over, 100 times over. You drained, you tired, you exhausted. No.
Yes, word of the day is no. Put a no in the chat, everyone. Put a no. Word of the day is no. And the reason why I say this, right, is people really have it like they really have a different understanding of what no is. So let's just make it clear. Saying no is a form of self-expression, in my opinion. It really is. Yes, I'm glad to see all the no's in the chat. Thank you. Okay, so let's be clear. No, it's not negative. No, it's not rude. No, it's not rejection. No, it's not a scared word. No, it's choosing you. Okay? No, it's choosing you. Do I need to repeat that again, my people? Because a lot of people always forget that. No, it's choosing you. Because you have to put yourself first. Others don't. You need to think about you. This is your life. You make do and make what of it you want. You've only got one life. You're only one person. Okay? And when you say no, you're saying, I know my limits. I value myself and my time. I trust myself. Okay? So when you're saying no, I'm going to repeat this again. When you're saying no, you're saying, I know my limits. I know my self-worth, and I know my time, and I value my time, and I trust myself. It's TJ's baby said, Caterpillar, I can't say no to my kids, nieces, or listen, I say no to my nieces, nephews all the time. I am the aunt that they only come to when they're in a dire situation, because I'm the no. But I'm also, when they were little, oh, I'd do anything for them. Now with their, they talk back, and I'm like, who are you talking to? It's a no. Can I do this? No. Can I do this? No. One is downstairs angry at me because I wouldn't let her go to her friends. I'm like, it's Sunday and it's 8 o'clock. I don't think so. Girl, you best get in shower, have those clothes ready and ironed for school, have the schoolwork ready, have the homework packed up. Don't play with me and go eat that dinner. You know what I mean? That's the type of aunt I am. I say no all the time. Listen, I learned. It took me a while. It's TJ's baby. It took me a while, but I learned. Okay? And she's right now sulking. I don't care. That sulking ain't gonna do nothing to me. Okay? So, no, you're saying I know my limits, I value my time, and I trust myself. Okay? Saying no is expressing yourself, is standing in your truth and letting the world adjust, and letting the people, your friends, your family, your work colleagues, people on social media, people on YouTube adjust to you. And adjustment does take time, but remember, that's on them because you took that time, you worked on yourself, and you learned to say no. I want to talk about how to start showing up for yourself. Start by checking in, because I do check-ins, and I always pray. I start my day with a prayer, blessing, like thanking God that He woke me up another day and gave me another day. Okay, so I always start my day with Alhamdulillah. I'm always blessed, truly blessed. Um, that's number one for me. Prayer. People, a lot of people not aware. Maybe some Muslim friends, but Muslims, we pray 5 times a day. The first prayer for us is early hours in the morning. It's the morning prayer, and that is normally at like 3, 4 in the morning. In the summer, and then in the winter is like 5 or 6. So you start with the morning prayer, praising God, thanking God, and then you start talking to yourself, asking yourself, how do you feel today? And what do I want? What am I going to accomplish? Like, I have goals to accomplish. I'm not working at the moment, but due to certain circumstances, but I know next July, hold up. Yeah, end of July, I know I have to go back to work, right? So I'm setting myself up. I've already done my CV. I'm talking to recruiters again. I'm getting in contact with my people from, the healthcare industry. I'm getting out there, networking again. I'm doing things I used to do again because I have to set myself up for what's coming soon, knowing I have to put myself back in work. And what do I really want? And I work on that every day. What do I want to do today? And I can be sometimes, because I do so much, when it's me, I get so lazy for me. I really do. But I've learned that I'm going to reclaim my time. I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay. Practice low risk things. Like, actually, I'd rather not, you know, when, someone goes to you, hey, come out, I want to do something. You say, no, I'd rather not. Let me think about it and get back to you. Affirm the truth. You don't owe access, okay? So I just need people to affirm this with themselves. This is the truth, all right? You don't owe access and energy or explanation to anyone who doesn't honor you or respect you back. If the same energy you give is not received, given back to you, chuck the deuces up, chuck the deuces up. Peace out. Peace out, my girl. Peace out, my guy. Okay? Be real and say it. Self-expression is the key. Okay? Authenticity is the cure. You are not, and I repeat this again, You are not here to perform comfort for others at your own expense. You are not here to perform comfort for other people at your own expense. And that, oh, it's a hard hitter, but it's a lesson that learned. And every day is a lesson. Every day we're learning lessons. Every day, like I will put something on and I learn a lesson from it. I will go on YouTube, like, we're on Queen Sheba. We learned so much today, right? Every day is a learning lesson. Every day. Just remember that. Everything takes work. Nothing's done in a day. Really want people to understand being true and honest with yourself and others is always for your own good. It keeps the naysaying, the self-doubt, everything away, and it keeps you free from ill health, from losing yourself, because you're so busy concentrating on other people and being a yes woman that you forget about yourself. And what does that happen? What happens to that? It leads to stress, it leads to sickness, it leads to illness. Stress is the biggest killer of women. Okay? Stress is. And unfortunately, we are programmed and conditioned to behave in a certain way. And it's up to you to change. It's up to you, because only you care enough about yourself to change, and your conditions will change around you, in my opinion. I just really, really hope that people really understand that you have one life to live and you need to live it well and your true self. Saying no is for you, is not for anybody else. Okay? Emotional honesty isn't always handled with care by others, because some people don't know how to process your honesty. But you are vulnerable enough to share your honesty. And if they listen, they know where your heart really is. Me personally, had to learn to say no and choose me. It was a journey of healing and becoming healthy for me. I learned to love myself enough to never allow somebody else in my space that didn't respect me. Preserve your energy so you can pour into yourself. Okay? Preserve your energy so you can pour into yourself. Expressing yourself is your right. Saying no is your boundary in motion. You don't have to yell. You don't have to fight. But you do have to honor that voice, because God gave you that voice. Your truth deserves peace. Your truth deserves space. Your needs deserve respect. And you deserve to be heard, held, and whole. So I just want to say thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. I am going to drop the link for anybody that wants to come up and talk about this, because I really had to get this off. It's like I said, I've had this for a while and I really had to get it off my chest, because real talk, I just felt like I needed to share this today. I felt like today was the day for this to be shared. And I hope everybody took something away from this. Oh, TJ's baby, you're welcome, hon. You're welcome. She said, thanks, catch up with Lala. Thanks for this live. You're welcome. And thank you for joining me. I appreciate you for joining. I dropped the link for anybody that wants to join. Hey, Shawnee love. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Betty Boop said that post you just posted, Lala, is a whole word. And I just took a screenshot to put it on the post it. Okay, I'm going to send it to you. Do you know which one it was, Betty? And thank you. Let me know which one it is so I can send it to you. And I also, oh, forgot I wanted to share some things. One moment. Okay, so stress consists of internal alterations, visible or not, that occur when the organism perceives a threat to existence and well-being. So remember that stress, okay? Also, the important areas of their lives, almost none with the patients with serious diseases had ever learned to say no. So this is extracts from his book, right? That the people that he spoke with and they were being cured for their diseases, when you ask them, have you ever said no? None of them ever said no. And that's the reason why they had their disease. Artistic expression by itself is only a form of acting out emotions, not the way of working them through. And that's so true. Okay, perfect. Okay. I'm glad that you took that and it resonated with you. So I want to say thank you to every single one of you. I hope this live helped you in any way or form, because it helped me. Yes, it got a bit emotional, so I apologize if I got emotional at the beginning. Yes, I was a bit emotional at the beginning because certain things did trigger me, but I'm very glad I did this live. I really am. And I thank every single one of you for being here. And I hope you take something from this live. I really do. And remember to say no. Remember to say no. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely Sunday and take care. Stay blessed. Goodbye. Until next time.
It's the way that we rock.